Hi, welcome to Real Sales 101, the no-nonsense approach to selling. Today we're going to talk about the F word. What is the F word? Well, I'll tell you, if you ask any little leaguer, you ask any little kid and playing any sport, hockey, football, he's all going to tell you what it is. They're all going to tell you what it is. It's the one thing that you have to do when you are conducting any job, any task, any chore around the house, anything at all. If you want success when you're in school, when you're talking with someone, when you have a relationship with someone, right? If you want it to go as far as possible, you want it to build as best you can, okay? So what you want to do is you have to apply this one single word, not a 4-letter word, it's a 5-letter word. Focus. That's the word. That's what it is. That's what you have to do. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to apply it to everything you do. Everything. Everybody thinks they focus, but they don't. Because what happens is you get into a situation and all it takes is that, a half a second, and you're done. And it's the same thing in sales. It's like when you're driving a car, right? You lose focus for 2 seconds, boom, you're done. You've got an accident, right? So what you have to do is you have to maintain that frame of mind. You have to maintain that intensity. When you're working on something, you have to stand by it, and you have to always keep your mind sharp, okay? What's going to happen is a lot of things come up and they're going to force you to lose direction, whether they're intentional or not. These are things that are going to come up and they are going to try to derail you. They're things that are going to stop you. They could be in terms of driving a car, right? You get a flat tire, okay? You want to go somewhere, but you get a flat tire. In terms of a sporting team, the same thing. You're going with your ice, the puck down the ice, and someone comes and checks you, okay? And he throws you off. And these things come up, whether they are intentional or not, whether they're accidental or not, whether someone means to do it or someone doesn't mean to do it. These things do come up, and they do try and derail you. So we all get back up, and you get back on the horse, and you keep going. That's fine. But what do you do when it's not just 1 or 2? It's 10 or 15 or 20. That's a lot. And that can throw you off. When you want to go on a trip or you want to go somewhere, or you're a military unit, a military body, and you're trying to advance, and you come across a minefield. Okay, fine, you come across the minefield. It slows you down. You go and you clear the minefield. Then you keep going, and you come across some more resistance, and that slows you down. Okay, you get rid of that, and you keep going, and you keep going and going. However, there is a point sometimes where you start to question, and you say, is this worth it? You start to wonder if your self-worth is there, if the worthiness of your project, of your goal, is something that you want to keep going and doing. So this is a big problem. It's a huge problem amongst people because it's very, very easy to lose it. And it's not, you get up in the morning and you have this desire, you have this goal, this dream. You're going to achieve what you want to achieve today. And you do. Right? You get up and you get dressed and you brush your teeth and everything's grand and you're moving in the right direction. But along the way, you're going to get problems. There's going to be obstacles. There's things that are going to come your way, right? You're expecting a sunny day and it rains. This is unintentional, okay? Somebody calls you in the middle of something and throws you off. Something happens. You stub your toe. There's all kinds of things that happen. Now, when you're talking about sales, when you're moving forward with sales, it's very important because the focus aspect is your job. That's your job, to focus. The more you focus, the better you're going to be, the greater your success rate. Why? Because when you're there with a client, and it doesn't matter, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, it doesn't matter if you're a high up selling for a major corporation, international, blah, blah. You're selling $1 million items. Or you're a guy selling, you work in a beauty parlor and you want to do people's hair. It doesn't matter which one you're doing. It's the same thing. You've got to apply that focus. And in your day and during the thing, when you're trying to convince the client to come your way, you're talking to the client and you want him to come to you. You have to stay on track because there's many, many things that are going to come up that are going to throw you off track. And you don't expect them. And you think you expect them. And you think you're prepared. But it's very, very hard. okay? Because these are basically sabotages of your effort. You're walking up and you're going in to see somebody, but there's all these sabotages that come along. There's all these landmines that are there. They're trying to throw you off track. And you are not always prepared for that. And what happens is it starts to gnaw away at you. We're not talking about one or two small things. We're talking about big things. And then when you go in to see the customer, if you get to that point, there's all these factors that are working against you. There's very, very few that are working for you, right? You have to find those ones that are working for you. But there's many, many working against you. So you have to stand up and you have to stay on track. It's like playing a video game and you're going through the shooter, or you're driving, or you're flying, and the game keeps throwing all these obstacles at you, right? You're a first-person shooter and you're going through the game, and all these creatures start coming up, all these aliens start coming up. But your focus is you have to get to the end. You have to get to the big prize at the end. And all these things come up, and you shoot here and you shoot there and you shoot everywhere, but you keep moving in that direction. And no matter what they throw at you, you just shoot these things and keep going. And that's what you have to do with sales. But in sales, it's a little more. It's not a video game, it's reality. And people are going to try and stop you. You have to think that all these factors are a threat. They're an enemy. You have to treat it as such. All these little factors that are going to throw your focus off. Because you get up and you have the focus. You say, I want to get that sale. I want to make that commission. I want to grow my company. I want to build up. I want to get more clientele. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, okay, whether it be in your professional life or your personal life, it's the same thing. You've got goals in your personal life too. You get up and today's the day you want to clean the house. Today's the day you want to, I don't know, look at the stock market and see if you can learn and make some investments. Today's the day you just want to go out for a walk. Today's the day you want to get together with a friend. It doesn't matter. But that's a goal. Like, they're all goals. And they should be treated as such. Now, just to get up in the morning and say, oh, I want to go meet my friend today, okay, and roll over and go back to sleep, that's not going to get you to the friends. That's not going to get you to do what you have to do. You have to focus on it. You have to say, today I am meeting so-and-so. Today I'm meeting my friend. What do I have to do to get to meet my friend? Depending on the importance level for you, perhaps it's not very important, so then you won't care and you roll over and go back to sleep. But if it is important for you, you're not going to roll over and go back to sleep. You're going to stand up, you're going to get dressed, you're going to get yourself going, you're going to make your preparations, you're going to have a timeline. So these are things with your focus, what you're doing. When you get in a car, it's very rare you're getting in the car and you're just driving aimlessly. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I need milk, maybe I need eggs, maybe I'll go to a friend's. No, it's not going to get you the milk and eggs if you need them. When you got the milk and eggs, when you know what you want, you're going to get in the car, you're going to decide on which store you're going to. Because you've got 7 stores around you. Which one has the best price? Which one is the best offerings? Which one is going to do whatever for you? Which one is the most variety? Whatever is most important to you, that's fine. It doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as you choose the one and you go in that direction. But what happens is all these obstacles, all these things pop up and they start to weigh on you. They weigh on your mind. Firstly, they stop you physically. Secondly, they weigh on your mind. Thirdly, they weigh on your emotions. Because all the feel-good that you had going into it get gnawed away. All the physical preparations that you've set up get gnawed away. Okay? All the mental preparations, all your mental reasoning and organizing and thinking, it all gets gnawed away. Chip, 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 chip. It just chips away at it. You can have big obstacles and little obstacles. So this is why it is crucially important. The most important thing, the F word. Focus. Stay focused. If there's one thing I can impress upon, or trying to impress upon you more than anything else, is stay focused. Because the day is full of sabotaging events. And some of them are going to maybe not right away, but after a point. You know, a door gets slammed in your face, a door gets another one, another one, another one. You might take one or two. But if you have it for 2 straight weeks, 20 a day, that's a lot of doors closing in your face. And that is designed to ruin your focus. It's designed for it. That's what it does. That's by nature. It's an evil thing. These are all negativities that are designed to chip away at your positive attitude. So it's crucially important that you stay on track, because they're going to come, and there's things that are going to take your direction different ways. You want to get from point A to point B. You're in New York, you want to get to LA. Okay? So you hit the road, or you get on the plane, or whatever it is, but along the way on the road, there's a roadblock. Now you have to turn off, and now you're heading south towards Florida because they closed the highways, right? Or there's a snowstorm, and these things happen. Okay? Or you get a phone call that's calling you back. So you don't just get and go. It's very, very rare that you're going to leave New York and get to LA like that. That's very, very rare that's going to happen. Okay? There's going to be obstacles along the way that are going to slow you down. They're going to try and take you off track. As I say, some are intentional. Some are people or things working against you. Okay? We're going to talk about some of those. And then others are just things that happen out of your control. Right? You get in the car, there's a traffic jam. You get in the car, your car breaks down. You get in the car, you got a flat tire. I think there's a snowstorm. Nothing you can do about that stuff. There really isn't. You can try and prep for it. In other words, you keep a spare tire in your car. You check the weather beforehand so you don't get a snowstorm. You look ahead to see if there's any highway closures. You make sure you have the best route and a secondary route. These are all preparations that you do, and they're very important. But don't allow, if your job is to get to LA, don't allow the road closure to turn you off towards Florida. Don't allow that. It's okay if you want to end up in Florida, but if you wanted to end up in Florida, why didn't you just go to Florida in the first place? Why don't you just take that direction, right? You're in sales and you're coming up now, and you have a goal. Your goal is, as we said, to acquire more clients, right? To make greater profits, to better yourself in your job, whatever your goal may be. Even, like I say, in your personal life, to get to talk to somebody, to solve your issue with your broken cell phone, whatever it may be. This is your goal. But on the way, things are going to try to throw you off. But if your goal is to get more profit, and everything you do along the way is going to, the customer is not going to talk to you, and this is not going to happen, and that's not going to happen, and everything is going to go, and the prices are going to go up, and you're going to get less profit, why are you going to lose that goal of the more profit? Right? If you go in to see a customer and you say, hey, I'm here, you're not going to tell them I want to make more profit, but you're there with the customer and you're thinking to myself, I got to get this guy going because I want to make more profit. How can I raise his price? What can I do to increase my profit margin? Okay, fine. But now all of a sudden the customer says, I don't like you. The competition comes in and he's offering better service. And that's designed to throw you off from your goal of getting more profit. So you can be sidetracked temporarily, but don't lose your goal. Because if you're going to be sidetracked and only talk about the competition, right? And now you're chasing the competition, which is fine, and you might have to do that, depending on the situation. The guy says, well, someone else is cutting my hair at half the price and they do a better job, right? So you can get sidetracked a bit, but if you just stay on that sidetrack, then you're losing your goal. You've lost your focus. You've been knocked off the rails or sent on a detoured road. Now you're looking at, I don't know, what the competition is doing. You've forgotten all about your higher profit margin. Okay, well, if you're setting off from New York going to LA, why are you ending up in Florida? I don't care if all the highways are closed. It's irrelevant. If you end up with Florida as your final destination and you're satisfied with that, nowhere near LA, then why did you even have a goal to get to LA in the first place? Okay, sometimes goals can change. I get it, right? But you want to keep going until there's reason why you should drop LA. And these little small things that come into being are not necessarily reasons to drop LA. Even big things. If you know that going to LA is the right move, if you know going to increase your profit margin, if you know these things are the right move, then why stop them? Right? But what happens is that these things happen and they pick at you. Pick. They pick at your brain, they pick at your body, they pick at your emotions, they pick at your heart, they pick at your soul, they pick at everything. And it slowly wears you down to the point where you just say, I'm not interested. I don't care. I give up. I give up. But if you're giving up, you've lost the focus. Why are you giving up? Why are you giving up? You're giving up because you've lost focus. Because you don't see the end goal anymore. Or what happens is these obstacles come in and they're basically telling you your end goal to strive to get it is pointless. It's useless. Well, if you really believe that, then why are you here? Right? So you don't want it to be a useless thing. You don't want it to go through your head. You start questioning your own efforts. What am I doing this for? Why am I even here? Well, what's the point of that? The point is that you're here to achieve your goal. You're here to make your sale. Whatever that sale may be, that's what you're here for. Don't let all the questions people ask, and don't let all the derailments, and don't let all the bad weather get in your way. You figure out a way to get there, and the only way to achieve your goal is by focus, straight. You have your point, that's where it is. Your point is rarely going to be A to Z, straight, a straight line. It's rarely going to be that. Rarely. More often than not, A is going to throw off here. You're going to have to go to this one and that one. You're going to go to 100 different directions until you get there. But don't lose that focus. Don't lose that sight on your goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. Always.